And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Russinize Your Day show, where we take politics and ruin its self-esteem. We also take politics and ruin their self-esteem.
Yeah,
we might have a problem with that.
If you guys see yellow on the YouTube, it's because our producer Blake doesn't know how to obviously produce very well.
Can you go and check that?
Oh, okay.
Technical difficulties, folks. Hold on 1 second. We're going to let the music play here in the background. And he's going right. Do you see it in the... Just tap the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's huge. No, it's going to do it again. Don't... We've tried about 50 million times. It's not going to... Okay, just take it off. Take it. That's... It was mature.
I don't know if you should be yelling, take it off, while we're recording.
With you around, who knows what'll happen. Hi, folks! It's the beginning of the week!
Can you tell?
And we're happy to be here the day before Super Tuesday
3.0.
This, of course, follows Super Tuesday, Super Saturday, and Super Tuesday, because the media is so original these days.
Yeah. Super Tuesday 3.0. And, it's going to be fun. It's going to be bigger than the last one.
It is actually delegate-wise.
Yeah.
There's a huge number of delegates for the first time we're getting winner-take-all states.
Oh man,
there were a couple beforehand that were only winner-take-all if you crossed the 50% threshold. This one, as long as you win the state, you get the majority of votes, you take it all.
Like Vin Diesel said in Fast and Furious. It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win is a win.
Yep. Actually, that was very appropriate for this.
Yep. I thought
it's very strange for you. Like that was actually spot on.
I have spot on moments.
It's gonna be a strange show. I open the show with a blunder, and you come in with some very profound statement from a movie of all places.
Especially Fast and Furious.
It is Monday, that's for sure.
We're just trying to break the case of the Mondays today for you people.
Break the case of the Mondays. That's still, in case long-time listeners of the show will get that reference.
And if you're not a long-time listener, go back.
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you.
We've been doing this for quite a while.
Yeah, this is episode number 38.
Oh, man.
Well, that just for this year, really. 38 episodes this year. We've had several the past year. I don't know exactly how many we've done. We had to be over 50 by this point.
Probably.
So, but 38 for this year since we started broadcasting on the WHRL network at whirlwindmedia.com. So,
I like how you worked that in.
Thank you. I'm really good at that.
It was very smooth, very sexy.
Let's take a weekend recap. What happened? What happened over the weekend?
I went to go see a movie with you.
The plot thickens.
Does it?
Yeah, no,
I
not
hope
really.
it doesn't.
No, the plot of that movie did not thicken. It actually fell apart.
All.
We went and saw 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yes. And I do have to say that Russ did jump at one point.
That you know of.
And I giggled hard.
He did.
I was the only one in the theater laughing, actually.
But then, did you notice the people who sat next to me?
No.
I was worried they were going to be all like John Goodman's character in that movie. They looked like the prepper type that would hold people ransom in their bunker.
Wow. Spoiler alert.
Well, that's kind of obvious.
Okay.
From them. Okay. It's not even worthwhile, though. Don't go see it. It's not worthwhile. 10 Cloverfield Lane is a huge letdown. And I'm against using the Donald Trump phrasing of that word. So
yeah. Well, there was a lot that actually went on during this weekend, besides our movie watching.
Besides the horrible 10 Cloverfield Lane. J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot, shame on you.
No kidding. You better fix that with Star Trek coming out.
Is he involved in the new Star Trek?
I think JJ is still director.
I don't think so.
I think he is.
I don't think so.
Somebody Google that for us.
Google it. We could do it, but yeah, we're lazy.
Well,
you've listened to the show. We don't do much. So weekend recap, protesters at Trump rallies. We'll be getting to that later, though, the main topic of that, but shut down his Chicago event. Well, there's more to it than what you've been told. What else happened?
Ted Cruz whomps.
Okay, why don't you take a look at your notes?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because we have it laid out what we're talking about in the weekend recap.
Oh,
however, that is good that you brought that up because I did forget to put that in the notes.
So take that.
Cruz Womps.
Yes.
Is that spelled W-H-O-M-P-S?
We'll go with that.
All right, W-H-O. He whomps.
Whomps.
Okay, but take it from C.
Okay. Michelle Pfeiffer. Nope. Michelle Fields. You can see how I got that mixed up.
I don't see. Pfeiffer starts with a P.
The reporter violently grabbed at a Trump campaign or by a sorry.
Do you want me to say
Nope, I got it. By Trump campaign manager and Breitbart editor-at-large Ben Shapiro have both resigned from Breitbart News, accusing them of being, wow, dude, you need some commas.
No, do you want to know how it works? Michelle Fields, the reporter violently grabbed by Trump campaign manager, and Breitbart editor-at-large Ben Shapiro have both resigned from Breitbart News, accusing them of being in the bag for Donald Trump.
Okay. See, I think there should be some commas.
Do you not see commas?
Well, I see commas, but you should be like, Michelle Fields, the reporter violently grabbed, comma, by a Trump campaign manager, comma, and Breitbart editor-at-large Ben Shapiro.
No, because this is all part... hold on, folks. We have a bit of an English lesson here.
Yeah, it's a run-on sentence.
No, it's not. It is not. She was the reporter violently grabbed by Trump's campaign manager. So there should be an apostrophe S, if anything.
Settled. All right.
It's not even remotely settled. I drew on myself.
I will be getting a stern lecture after this, ladies and gentlemen.
We're having a staff meeting. Basically, we're going to do what Breitbart is now doing to Ben Shapiro.
Oh.
Did you hear about that?
No, I did not.
Shapiro, in his resignation letter, just scorch-earthed Breitbart. And they fired back, attacking both of these reporters, both Michelle Fields and specifically Ben Shapiro, saying, calling him basically a Fox News surrogate. This is all just attention so he can get a job at Fox News. Also saying he hasn't shown up to work in years.
Huh.
Which, in my opinion... Isn't that on Breitbart? Because he was still working for them.
And they were still paying him.
Right.
Didn't we have a story earlier this year about a man that didn't show up for work for 6 years?
Yes, 6 years.
It was Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro, that's what it was about. So, and he still got paid for it. So, but again, isn't that on Breitbart? If Ben Shapiro's not showing up for work, they obviously knew, because they're talking about it now.
Yeah, somebody dropped the ball there at Breitbart.
But Breitbart took Trump's side over that of their own reporters, Michelle Fields, even though video documentation actually shows Trump's campaign manager did grab her arm. She had bruises. She took photos of it. She had bruises on her arm from where the guy grabbed her because he apparently yanked her as she was going up to ask Donald a question. He yanked her downward, from what I understand. And who knows what was going to happen, as we have audio from Donald Trump talking about how pretty a picture it is for women to be on their knees. Was that what you were going for?
Yep. You got it. I was so going for the, you know how Trump always says a woman looks good on her knees or whatever.
Yeah, that's what we were going with.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is for women. He treats them good. They're terrific, and they're beautiful.
Yeah. Many women who have met him disagree with that, but
yes, they do.
Which we could find out if he does become the nominee. Which again, I don't actually believe he will be. But if he does, I think it was NBC. Didn't they purchase a story by a British reporter who spent time with Donald, a female, and it's not
flattering.
Not a very flattering portrayal of him with how he treats women.
Yeah. It's like voting for Bill Clinton all over again.
Basically, a man also who has bragged about the affairs he's had. But hey, Christians love him.
Yeah, the Christians, they're all for him.
He's such a godly man.
Yeah. He must be giving a lot of money to a lot of pastors. I mean, to their to their church. I mean, he's not giving money at all.
No, of course not. No.
Why?
Well, we actually know he's not giving money at all because all that money he raised for the veterans, nobody quite knows where that's went. Nobody knows what's happened to it.
Did we check Trump's foundation?
We're not sure yet. They just that $6 million he's raised. It has not gone to the veterans.
All right, and he's also for veterans.
Yeah, also for kids, and he brings on an accused pedophile onto his campaign.
Yes,
Dr. Ben Carson.
I read about that this weekend. Actually,
now before Ben Carson gets all uppity and look, Ben, he accused you of being a pedophile, or at least having the mentality of one, and you endorse him. That's on you, buddy.
Oh yes. Actually, I think you sent me the article where Donald Trump actually turns around and still calls him a pedophile.
Still does. He said what was it?
He read it in his book.
Yeah,
in Ben Carson's book. Like
he was in an interview. I think it was on Meet the Press, one of the Sunday shows, and they asked him about it, and he said, "Well, I was just quoting what was in his books, just talking about what's in his books."
Yes, so
because Ben Carson wrote extensively about his mentality as a pedophile.
Yeah, and he's still walking free.
Right. So
don't understand.
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
Well, I mean,
how much money has he pledged to the organization that Ben Carson is now the head of? My Faith Votes. Not my faith, Dr. Carson, not mine.
Do you even have faith?
I'm not sure.
Not anymore.
I have faith in God. That's not so much in the church, though. So,
man, I need to stop laughing at myself.
Well, I've always said that.
No.
Should build yourself up.
Yeah, if nobody's going to laugh at me or with me, I meant with me, then I better laugh.
I'm laughing at you in case that helps. We've got another Trump surrogate. Drudge Report is getting hammered by conservative columnist Michelle Malkin for anti-Christian, anti-Cruz headlines. We have some audio here from the great Michelle Malkin. Gotta make sure the audio's up so we can hear it. And we're good. All right. We're gonna play this here after it loads. Oh, here we go.
So I opened up the Drudge Report on Friday morning to see massive Armageddon-sized headlines screaming about Ted Cruz appearing in a controversial video in which his supporters laid hands on him. As my friend Todd Starnes put it, this is what an anti-Christian smear looks like. So what does the video, which, by the way, is hosted on the YouTube channel of left-wing media outlet Raw Story, show?
Now, she showed a little clip here, and we have the, if you go to the Daily Caller, which is where we got it from, but if you basically just Google Michelle Malkin, this will come up. But there's a picture on there of the Drudge headlines, and there's 4 headlines, and it is all in all capitals. It's got that Armageddon apocalyptic look to it. Did you have something? Were you raising your hands?
Yeah, I was raising my hand. I actually saw this too.
Did you?
I did.
Okay.
On the Drudge Report.
I don't visit the Drudge Report anymore.
Like, I saw it on the front. I was like, what in the world? I didn't even click on it.
Yeah, because look at it. The top one is, Ted is the anointed one.
Okay.
Holy Ghost video revealed. This is the second one. Third down, we have Dad speaking in tongues, which actually that one, his father wasn't actually speaking in tongues regardless. There were some people speaking in tongues, and his father was more, I believe they said he was mouthing a prayer. Not that it really is a big deal one way or the other, but, and then the last one, this is the, this is brace yourself, folks. Supporters lay hands on Cruz at rally to pray for him. So let's finish up. Michelle makes some great points about this.
It shows Pastor Galen Wiley urging his congregation to stretch out their arms towards Ted Cruz and do what millions of Christians and Jews have done to impart blessings, healing, and authority.
Okay, wow. This is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I had to pause it for just a second. A lot to take in. Let's go back into it. This is startling news here.
Breaking, actually.
Ted Cruz is a Christian and his people lay hands on him,
or at least
pray on him.
Stretch out their hands to.
Yeah, not even necessary, but stretch them out. Which I grew up in a Pentecostal school. That was pretty common.
Yeah.
As she mentioned, Jewish leaders as well.
Yep.
That's a common thing.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's to do a blessing. It's not to, Zeke Heil.
Yeah, right. Like if you're at a Trump rally.
Father, in the name of Jesus and
This
by
is
the
the prayer
power
by
of
the
the Holy
pastor.
Spirit, I come to anoint my brother in the Lord.
Oh my goodness! Could you believe that?
All those hands.
Hands they raised
trying
up.
to throw a blessing out.
This beautiful moment had extra special meaning for Senator Cruz because Pastor Wiley is the man who baptized Cruz as a child and who also baptized his parents into the faith. His parents had both been atheists before they met Pastor Wiley in Texas. Senator Cruz and Pastor Wiley reunited after many years on the campaign trail when Pastor Wiley surprised him at a campaign event in Murfreesboro, Tennessee last year.
That's pretty cool, if you ask me.
That
pretty,
is actually nice.
That he surprised him, and that this pastor obviously has a great deal of significance in not only Ted Cruz's walk, but the entire walk of his family.
Yep.
Bringing his parents out of atheism into the church.
Yeah.
Not only does this cheap tabloid shot expose ignorance and bigotry, it also exposes 100-point font-sized double standards.
Ooh.
Funny, but I don't remember the Armageddon-style headlines about Donald Trump having hands laid on him at his Trump Towers just a couple of months ago by Christian and Jewish leaders.
Father God, in Yeshua's name, if you bring this man into the Oval Office,
Oh, how uncomfortable he looks.
For the sake of your people. Yes. Yavarechata Yahweh Yishmerechai.
It looks like the rabbi's
Holy
predator.
hypocrisy, Drudge. We have enough Christian bashers in the media, Hollywood, and the White House. Next time, lay off the laying on of the hands.
Hold on. In the Trump video, it looked like the rabbi was a predator. Had his hand like on Trump's face, and Trump was like, "Oh, please, no." It looked like he was about to rip out his spine.
Which if he had one, they probably would have. But
yeah.
but this exposes the hypocrisy. And I mean, just at the end there, she exposed the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
They attack Ted Cruz over his faith and over people doing a very common thing. As they point out, this was not just Christians; it was Christians and Jewish leaders.
Yeah,
it's something that's very common in many different religions when it comes to prayer.
Yep.
And just reaching out and really, that symbolism of connectedness.
Yes.
So it's really sad to see that. And then for Drudge Report to overlook the fact that this last year did the same thing for Donald Trump. That's apparently
I think it was
okay.
a couple months ago, not last year, was it?
Well, 2015 is what I'm referring to. So not specifically a year ago, but sometime in 2015. Okay. So that's sad to see. But that's Drudge's MO, really, and Breitbart apparently is following suit.
Bright Trump and Donald Report.
Yes, right. The Trump Report and Trump Bart.
Yeah,
I think Rush actually referred to them as Trump Bart.
Yeah, I think
the air.
I think it was Rush, which surprised me. But
yeah, well, some things,
I guess,
always open to surprises. Now let's get to our main topic here of Donald Trump's campaign being shut down over the shutdown. Oh boy.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. Apparently
welcome to the club.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Russism's coming soon?
No, it's not. It's coming about the same time yours will come.
So no.
Over the weekend, Donald Trump shut down a couple of his rallies due to protests. The keywords being there, Donald Trump shut them down, because who is really to blame for the violence?
You got that?
Nope, I'm not sure. For violence at Trump rallies.
I mean, it is written down. It says violent. I can clearly read that.
I don't want to. Do we want to rewind a little bit to when you tried to read the Michelle Fields part?
Oh yeah, we can. But
that was not
somebody doesn't know how to throw
proud moment for you
and punctuation.
Let's take a look here. This is from Red State. They outlined some of the stuff that Trump has said at his campaign. Let's check this out here, and because the whole big deal is who's to blame for the violence, which Trump accuses the protesters for shutting down his campaign rally, and said that the Chicago Police Department told him to shut it down.
Right.
Turns out that is factually inaccurate.
Yes, it is.
The Chicago PD is denying that they warned Trump to cancel his rally due to security concerns. which, again, is something Trump is running around saying actually happened.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when the Chicago PD can actually come out and say, yeah, no, we didn't. We had the situation under control. He could have continued on with the rally.
Yeah. And he could have, and they were prepared for it. They had everything. Well, we got an article here from The Hill that backs that up, saying police say they didn't advise Trump to cancel rally, which means were the protests that violent then? That's what I have to ask. What's being blown out of proportion here? Because we don't really know. We have a lot of claims out there that these were Black Lives Matters protesters, Bernie Sanders supporters, George Soros funded protesters.
I think that would be move on.
We'll get into that a little bit later specifically. But this article here from Red State shows just what Trump says
at some of his rallies.
No, read that.
Number one, if you see somebody getting ready to throw tomatoes, knock the crap out of them. Just knock the hell out of them. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. Donald Trump, Iowa. Can I use the H word?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
too late now.
We're on the internet. I even think you can use that on the radio, though, too.
Oh, okay. You want me to do the next one? Because that was fun.
No, I'll do it. Oh, you go for it.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
Get him out! Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. Donald Trump, Michigan.
So twice in a row, he says, "Well, I'll fund your legal fees."
Yeah. Well, I do have to give him a little bit of credit. He said, "Get him out. Try not to hurt him." Of course, then he said, "Well, if you do, I'll defend you."
Let's talk about something quick, because he's now in a point. So one of his supporters did actually punch somebody.
Yeah.
And now Trump is not readily going to defend and pay his legal fees, but kind of looking over the evidence first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His thing was, I think, basically see, well, the guy was making a big fuss and stuff, so he might have deserved it. Because everybody deserves to be punched. What was it? You had that other Trump supporter in a video. They have this in video. Let's look it up first. But it's a Trump supporter. After they beat up a black guy and kicked him out,
sure.
They said, well, if he comes back and we see him again, we might just have to shoot him.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. You know what's really funny is I was listening to
now.
I was listening to some of the talking heads today, and they're like, well, it's not really Donald Trump's fault. I mean, the liberals and the Democrats have been doing this for years.
That's interesting that you bring that up, because here's the thing that bothers me about this. And I saw some people ranting about this on Twitter in regards to Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, John Kasich all came out and said condemned Trump's language.
Right.
Now, we just only have read two of these things. There's more on this list that we'll get to. Like specifically, in the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. When they protested once, they wouldn't do it again. Donald Trump, New York. This is, it's you can condemn the protesters and condemn Donald Trump's language.
Exactly.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Just because you condemn the rhetoric he uses, his violent rhetoric, it is.
It definitely is.
He's inciting this stuff. You can condemn that and still be against the protesters.
Yeah, what's really funny is I heard one of the talking heads today say, you don't see Donald Trump's people going out to Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton's rallies and causing a ruckus. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Because I saw a video where a Donald Trump supporter was it was Bill Clinton, but he was at a Bill Clinton rally, and he stands right up in the front, and he holds up a big Trump sign, and he says something, and Bill Clinton looks at him and goes, all right. And and then he says something about money. He goes, yeah, I spend his money better than he does. Like, oh, so wait. Donald Trump's supporters don't go out to other rallies and cause disturbances? Yeah, they do. And
that's a true. I remember reading that one when it happened. Yeah, they do go out and they disrupt. We got the audio playing already. Hold on. But I have here the audio. This is from Mediaite. Inside Edition spoke to the Donald Trump supporter who assaulted a protester at a rally yesterday. John McGraw approached the protester, Rakeem Jones, as he was being escorted out and punched him hard. Someone in the crowd allegedly dropped the N-word. That one we don't have. That's allegedly. McGraw was later charged with assault, but while still at the rally, he told Inside Edition he really liked knocking the hell out of that big mouth. And then he said the protester was not acting like an American by protesting. That's not, America, you're not allowed to protest. Shame.
It's a shocking moment as a Trump supporter cold cocks a protester. Boom! An elbow right to the face. Watch from a different angle. The protester never sees it coming. He's wrestled to the ground by deputies. The guy who smacked him goes right back to his seat.
Did you like the event?
You bet I liked it.
Yeah? What'd you like about it?
Knocking the hell out of that big mouth. We don't know who he is, but we know he's not acting like an American.
So you deserved it?
Every bit of it.
What was that?
Yes, he deserved it.
Yeah, that's
the next time we see him, we might have to kill him. We don't
78.
Wow.
I mean, just what is happening? I mean, seriously, what is happening? Well, he doesn't look like an American. He's not acting like an American. Next time we see him, we might have to kill him. That's the American way. We're acting like Americans.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Brent. Is that your name? Brent? It's an American name. It's good to see you. I'm not going to cold cock you, but, if I see a guy out there and he's protesting, that ain't acting like an American, and I'm gonna go over there and I'm going to grade knocking the hell out of him. Next time I see him, I might have to kill him.
Gosh. You know what's really frustrating is protesting is actually part of the First Amendment. Peaceful protesting is something that you can do.
And when the guy was walking out of there, the protester, he was walking out.
On his own.
Yeah. He gets tackled by deputies up at the top. He was walking out on his own. And then this guy just comes over and boom.
Like elbows him right in the eye.
What is happening to us?
But hey, you know what? You know what though?
I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Tell me.
Friday night, Saturday night, whenever this debacle went down in Chicago, it's not Trump's fault.
No.
He preaches and says we need to be kind to others.
Well, no, he doesn't.
Okay. He holds the right to protesting right up there at the top.
Clearly not.
He loves individual thinking.
Nope. He likes to have people raise their hand and swear that they're going to vote for him no matter what. He could go out into the middle of Fifth Avenue and kill somebody and they'd still support him. There was a young man over the weekend also who rushed the stage at another Trump event and was quickly apprehended by Secret Service. Trump stated that his people researched it and found the man, 22-year-old Thomas DeMassimo, was affiliated with ISIS. They even showed a video or posted one of DeMassimo desecrating the American flag, walking on the American flag, dragging it around, with the ISIS flag present. I didn't actually watch the video, but the ISIS flag was present. And it turns there's also Arab music playing over it.
Oh,
well, it turns out the video was edited. That the ISIS flag was edited into the video. And that the Arab music was overlaid in it. The original video did not contain that. While DeMassimo may not be a patriotic fella, he is certainly not a member of ISIS. But hey, truth and facts, they don't mean anything to Donald Trump.
It's very true.
But this is the thing,
very true.
This is a very interesting scenario because at the Fox debate, when they attacked Trump University,
right?
For its,
you mean gave facts about Trump University? Okay.
They talked about its D- rating by the Better Business Bureau, and Trump was like, "No, it's got an A+ rating," and they were like, "No, it's actually got D-." And so during the break, he broke debate rules, talked to his campaign manager, and brought a fax to the moderators during the break and said, look, the Better Business Bureau just faxed this over, and it confirms that we have an A-plus rating with them. And the Better Business Bureau, what did they do? They said, no, we didn't do that.
I don't get how this guy can give Ted Cruz the nickname Lion Ted.
Because people don't care. What I find interesting is that guy in the video. I have many liberal friends, and that guy is the walking. Every Trump supporter turns out to be the walking stereotype of everything that liberals have said about the right.
Right. Well, exactly. Correct. It's that
like that we've been denying and saying that's not true. That's not true. All of a sudden, all these people are the walking stereotypes.
It's actually very sad, and it's not necessarily that they are the stereotype. They've been encouraged to do this by a candidate.
Yep,
and it's outrageous how people can just go, "Yep, he's the guy."
Now on this video with the ISIS kid that Trump is accusing of being a part of ISIS, which is a very serious accusation
it is
to throw out there. When asked about the edited video on Meet the Press, Trump defended himself. He said he wasn't able to say for sure whether DeMassimo had ISIS ties or not, saying, and I quote, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
All I know is what's on the internet. A presidential candidate, the current GOP frontrunner, after making a claim that a protester is a member of ISIS, all he knows is what's on the internet.
Yeah, who did the guy from Meet the Press? He said, we did our research about this guy, and Donald Trump goes, no, you didn't. And then the next sentence said, all I know is what I learned from the internet.
Yep.
All right.
Let that sink in. Folks, you need to do research. That is important. A lot of people are talking about these protesters, as we mentioned, being funded by George Soros.
Yes.
There's no evidence of that.
Very true. Very true.
At the moment. There could be. Very well could be. But right now, he's shooting from the hip. And he makes so many phony claims. And now he has all the people talking about how these protesters are funded by billionaire overlord George Soros. Maybe they are. They could be. There's no evidence of that at the moment, as we mentioned. It needs to be mentioned. But what we do have is evidence that George Soros, in fact, funds Daddy's little millionaire, Donald Trump.
He does.
He does. Brent, why don't you take us through this? We're running over our time here, but this is incredibly important to get in. One of these, there it is.
George Soros, like we mentioned, is a multi-billionaire. Multi-billionaire. George Soros, has pretty much funded everybody on the left. Mm-hmm. He's for open borders. He's really not a constitutionalist. He's for everything that is against the Constitution. George Soros, obviously, being accused of paying for these protesters. And what's really funny, though, is George Soros, I believe, lent $160 million to Donald. I pray to God there's not 160 Donalds.
Oh, goodness. 160 million Donalds.
Yeah.
We'd be screwed.
He lent $160 million to Donald Trump to get Trump Tower up in Chicago. In Chicago, where that one thing happened.
Yeah, Donald Trump, it should also be noted, quick, back to the protesters there, he went into the heart of liberal Chicago, one of the most liberal cities on this planet, to hold a rally. Yeah. There's something deeper going on there, and it goes beyond George Soros. It goes into Donald Trump, who has $160 million to fund Trump Tower in Chicago.
Yeah, and it's really funny, though, because he's because Donald Trump is the voice of independence and blah, 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 and all this stuff.
Now, but it was just a loan, though. They couldn't have actually, spent Christmas Eve 2009 together.
No. He doesn't have to pay any of the money. I mean, he has to pay the money back, but there's no strings attached, ladies and gentlemen. No strings.
Well,
but yeah.
None whatsoever.
I mean, just spending Christmas Eve together.
Look, Christmas Eve, you never spend that with people you care about.
No.
That's the throwaway holiday.
Yeah, so when Donald Trump goes out on stage and goes, look, I'm funding myself. George Soros is behind you, buddy. One way or another. And sorry, this time, it isn't pay to play. Sorry, you're not going to be taking $160 million from George Soros and not accommodating him.
But this is they very little interaction, right?
Yes.
They weren't named in a lawsuit together in New York surrounding the sale of the GM building or anything. So,
well, I mean, yeah, they were, but
so it's not just confined to Chicago. We should point this out. Trump was also named in a lawsuit alongside George Soros.
Yeah,
for the sale of the GM building in New York.
Yes, he was. And,
so in case you're like, well, it was just a Chicago loan. Christmas Eve 2009, Chicago loan, lawsuit together in New York.
Yes, and also at in 2011 at a Tea Party rally, Donald Trump goes, leave George Soros alone. He's had enough problems. Yeah, I'm sorry, but a guy that's...
Wait, he goes to a Tea Party rally and defends George Soros.
Yes. The guy that pretty much dislikes everything about this country. However, that's where he made his billions. But, neither here nor there.
Wow.
Yeah. So if George Soros is behind the protest, there's probably a bigger plan at hand than what we can see.
What is going on exactly? Because like we mentioned, this whole thing with the Chicago protest.
Right.
We have from the Chicago Police Department that they did not advise Trump to cancel the rally. They were prepared for it. They were ready to handle it. But he does it anyways and makes this big media storm about it on the eve of Super Tuesday. There's been a history of him causing these big events after he's been, in the debates.
Yep.
After the debates where he's been hammered and destroyed, he comes out, Chris Christie endorsed me. The media turns to that. They ignore it. We are being manipulated. Openly manipulated. It's not hidden manipulation. It's wide open. If you can't see it, you need to open your eyes.
Take a step back.
Because this is important. This election is important. And if we elect Donald Trump, we will get what we deserve. Everything we deserve.
Yeah, and like you were saying, a lot of his big things come right after he does terrible. Well, Friday. Wait, was it Friday? Saturday? Saturday, he gets stomped in the polls.
He didn't win.
I'm sorry, not in the polls. In the primaries,
the actual election.
Yeah,
Ted Cruz wins Wyoming with 66% of the vote.
Yeah,
and then Washington, D.C. goes to Marco Rubio. In both of those contests, Donald Trump came third.
Yes. Let it be noted, in D.C., Ted Cruz did come in fourth.
Which is a really good thing, actually.
Yeah.
It's the first time that a candidate should ever brag about winning is in the D.C. or losing. Excuse me.
Yeah,
coming in dead last. Especially this worked out well because none of the delegates went to Trump.
Yeah.
So Ted Cruz is able to come last in D.C. He can now say, the establishment, they don't want me. Washington, D.C. literally placed me last.
Yeah.
And that's a huge selling
it's like,
point.
You came before me in D.C., so I'm not even worried about that.
Right? I think the D.C. results were the exact order in which D.C. wants it, frankly.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Wants the ending. But, folks, thanks for listening. This has been the Russinize Your Day show. Boy, I wish we had more time on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Frankly, we had a lot to talk about. We got it all in. Don't forget, there's another Super Tuesday tomorrow. We've got, this one actually is super. Giant load of delegates are up for grabs, including, this could be Kasich and Rubio's last stand.
Well, let's Let's cross our fingers, I guess.
Winner take all states of Florida, Illinois, and Ohio are joined by North Carolina and Missouri. There's voting on both parties, I think in all the same states, all 5 states for both parties. This will be interesting to watch. If you are in Florida or Ohio, I don't know about you, but I encourage everybody, vote for Cruz.
Yeah.
Vote your conscience. Obviously, if your conscience is telling you Rubio and Kasich, you might need to look into your conscience a little bit. But if you're
kill that cricket.
If you're a Cruz supporter and you were thinking about trying to be clever and, you know, take away delegates from Trump, don't. Vote for Cruz.
Yeah.
For one thing, Cruz could stun and win both Florida and Ohio, or one. It's not... Most recent polls have showed Ted Cruz surging, majorly surging. He's within margin of errors, really, for all of these. And again, Trump, everybody else has underperformed polls, specifically Trump, while Ted Cruz has overperformed.
Exactly.
This is really anybody's game, leaning towards Ted Cruz.
Well, not anybody's game, but you get the idea. Yeah. I mean, Kasich and Rubio, they don't really have
Kasich thinks it's his game.
Oh, yeah.
He wins Ohio.
He's still in.
He could do it. He could do it.
I heard people talking about that, too. He's back in the game. He's got one state.
This has been the Russinize Your Day Show, part of the WHRL network at whirlwindmedia.com. There's no I in whirl. To contact us, send your emails to russinize at whirlwindmedia.com, RUSSINIZE at WHRLwindmedia.com. Follow us on Twitter at Russinized. That's Russinize with a D. And check us out on Facebook. Just search for Russinize Your Day. We are also on Google Plus. Are you with me? Do you want to take the next one?
Oh, yeah. You can take the show on the go with you on any of your mobile devices through iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. We think maybe. Please rate and review us on iTunes and help us spread the word about the Russinize Your Day Show. If you want to see what happens while we record, then subscribe to our show on YouTube and watch the video version of the Russinize Your Day Show, because you can get this and that and this.
Yeah.
Bringing it home. Make sure you check us out on www.whirlwindmedia.com. That's WHRLwindmedia.com to stay up to date with everything Russinize Your Day. Whirlwind Media is developing new projects, and we will have some exciting things coming up in the near future, so keep your eye on that. We hope you have the great rest of your day.
Keep going. We got to get this show done.
And we look forward to talking to you again on Wednesday.
We'll bring you our post-Super Tuesday coverage.
Yes, it's a deluxe Tuesday. I don't know.
Super deluxe.
I'm Brent.
And I'm Russ. Thanks for listening.